super excited to talk some movie theater news. I find following AMC's business plans and everything just really fascinating because they're all over the place, and we'll get into that in a second. Before we get started, I just want to say, I don't upload to this channel very regularly, and that's because it's honestly just something I kind of do for fun. It's not something I think would ever become a career or anything like that, but I also know there's really no chance of that happening if I don't upload regularly. But that's okay. It's just a hobby. It's just for fun. But I wanted to say, there's a few of you, one of you in particular that I'm thinking of right now that is a subscriber that has commented, I could disappear for 4 or 5 months, and you're right there. You're commenting. You've been very supportive of the channel and engaged with what we're doing in the comments section. I just wanted to say thank you. That means a lot. In fact, you know who you are. If you comment on this video today and let me know that you know that I'm talking about you, then my commitment to you is to upload weekly for the rest of the year. If you just comment on this video as a thank you to your dedication, your loyalty as a subscriber to this channel, and maybe if we start doing weekly content, something will come of it. We'll just see what happens. That would be August to December. That's my commitment to you. I'm waiting to see that comment. Now, let's get into this. So, first, the drama with AMC started when MoviePass was a thing. Oh, the glorious days when MoviePass was a thing. It was $9.99 a month, and you could go see a movie a day. It was crazy. I mean, the only restrictions would be like with 3D and different things like that. And when it first came out, man, I loved that because I would go to see so many movies that I typically would never see in theaters just because I had MoviePass, so why not? But it did seem too good to be true, and turns out that it was. Slowly but surely, there started to be more and more restrictions until eventually the app just wasn't showing theaters and movies. It lasted several months, and it was beautiful while it lasted, but MoviePass was destined to die from the beginning, and it did. However, when they first started doing the $9.99 a month, they had existed for a while, but it used to be like $40 a month. I haven't even researched MoviePass in a while. I just kind of gave up on it. But I did make a prediction that theaters were going to start creating their own subscription services where you pay a certain amount and you get to come to a certain amount of movies a month. And I was right. And AMC was one of the first to do it, which is interesting because they were very resistant to MoviePass. They tried to refuse MoviePass, but realized that the way MoviePass was structured, they'd also have to deny all other debit and credit cards. So they weren't able to restrict MoviePass from their theaters. And MoviePass died out, and they created their own more sustainable option. And since then, Studio Movie Grill, Regal, all these other major theater chains have created their own in-house subscription services, just like I predicted. But it's been interesting to watch how AMC has responded to some of the things, and the movie industry in general has responded to the coronavirus. And this has been such a strange time. Some theaters are starting to reopen, but they're not having any new movies because there are no new movies, and they're showing repeats of things like Willy Wonka or Indiana Jones. I mean, old movies, right? Well, now there are certain studios, the first one to come out and say this was Universal, that have decided that they are going to distribute their movies on demand same day as the theater release, digital and theater on the same day. One of the reasons they did this is because Trolls was scheduled to come out right in the middle of all this coronavirus stuff. They went straight to video, and it did so well. This was right at the beginning of quarantine. Parents were trying to find something for their kids to do, and Trolls 2 just did amazing. So Universal made an announcement that all of their future films, and we're talking some major franchises. You got, the Jurassic series, Fast and Furious, all sorts of really major franchises that would be going straight to digital the same day as the theatrical release. So AMC pulled this move because they thought that would be bad for their business and decided to ban Universal films from being in their theaters. Now, it's crazy if you think about it. I thought this was really kind of a petty thing because at the end of the day, theaters are going to struggle coming back from this whole pandemic anyway, and that's just less movies for them to sell. I mean, even if some people come out to see Fast and Furious, which they will in person, in theater, because that's something that has a big fan base, that's still concessions, ticket sales, all that stuff for the theater, but they're just so against the idea of it that they said no. Well, now, just recently, we've seen that Universal and AMC have struck a deal and made a sort of compromise to where the films can come out on digital 2.5 weeks after the theatrical release. Now, we're used to waiting 2 or 3 months for on-demand digital Blu-ray, all of the at-home formats of a release for a movie, but now it's moving to 17 days, 2.5 weeks. And a lot of people, small business owners like theater owners in different towns and other film distributors are saying, I don't know what's going to become of this. I mean, right now it's kind of a bad time to be making those moves because most AMCs aren't open anyway. So people are asking, is this really going to be like an industry game changer? Is this kind of the way of the future? Or did they move too soon? Was this kind of a bad idea? It'll be interesting to see how it all plays out. And I don't think we really will until a major release like Fast and Furious, which is the next major Universal release. That hopefully at that point will be coming out in theaters. Now, people have been pushing for this kind of digital home release / theatrical release happening at the same time for a while now. Now, theaters are resistant to it because they think we're already struggling to get people in the seats, and if they can watch the film at home, why would they come out to the theater? I think it'll be interesting because I like going to the theater. I don't want to miss out on that. I can't wait to go back to the theater. And I believe there's a lot of people like me who want to keep having that theater experience. So I think they're always going to have a base, or at least they're far from just completely shutting down because they can't keep the doors open. There's a lot of people that still love going to the theaters. What about you? Do you prefer watching your films at home? Do you like going to the theaters? How do you think all of this is going to pan out? Well, I'll try and keep you posted on it as best I can. So hit that subscribe button, and thank you for joining us.